Welcome to Hillis & Company. Hillis & Company specializes in event planning, catering, and floral design. My name is Sally Hillis and I'm the chef owner. Today we're going to do a recipe featuring the sweet Italian sausages. Smart chicken is air chilled, so there's never any extra liquid added to the meat, and it's just a beautiful product, really fresh. So the first thing we're going to do today is remove the sausage from the casing. Again, you'll notice that it's such a lean, beautiful product. There's no liquid in here. And the seasoning is just perfect. Complements a lot of different ingredients. Once the chicken is removed from the casing, we're going to add it to a skillet on medium-high heat. And then we're going to add 2 to 3 cups of fresh vegetables that have been blanched or frozen vegetables that are thawed. And we're going to stir this mixture until the meat is completely cooked. Again, the Smart Chicken sausage is such a lean product, there's hardly any fat to it. It cooks really nicely with vegetables. In designing this recipe, I wanted something that could be very versatile, so we designed one that you could serve for breakfast, brunch, lunch. It's something that can be made ahead and refrigerated overnight, already in the pastry, or if you decide not to put it in the pastry, you can put it in a casserole and serve it that way. You can use other types of chicken in this recipe as well. I've used it with just roasted chicken. You can use pre-cooked roasted chicken, or if you have ground chicken, it works really well. The sausage mixture has completely cooked, so we're going to cool it for just a little bit so we can add it to our polenta mixture. To cool it, I put it onto a sheet pan, and this expedites the cooling process. Okay, so we'll set that aside to cool for a bit. The next step in the process is to make the polenta, the creamy polenta. And this is made with cornmeal, cheeses, and chicken stock. Okay, so the first step is to heat the chicken stock until it's simmering. And I like to add the pepper flake at this step to help disperse the flavor. Okay, our chicken stock and red pepper flake is now simmering, and we're going to go ahead and add our polenta. So our polenta has thickened now. You can tell it's nice and thick and creamy. We're going to go ahead and take it off the heat. Now that we have the polenta nice and thick, we're going to go ahead and add our cheeses. We have some mascarpone, and then we have some Parmesan and cheddar. And again, you can choose cheeses that are your favorite here. I've selected these because I think they complement the polenta really well. And you want to mix this off the heat, otherwise the cheese starts to stick to the pan. And we're going to go ahead and let this cool for a little bit before we add it to the chicken sausage mixture. So again, to expedite the cooling process, we're going to spread it onto a sheet pan. Our mixtures have cooled, and now we're going to combine the two. So first we're going to put the chicken sausage mixture in the bowl with the vegetables. And then we're going to add the creamy polenta. And then I like to use my hands to combine the two so I can get it well dispersed. As I mentioned before, this mixture is ready to go into a casserole. It can be put in the refrigerator overnight and baked the next day for a gluten-free breakfast brunch item. But today we're going to go ahead and put it into a phyllo triangle and bake it in the oven. Phyllo is an unleavened bread that comes in the freezer section of the grocery store. And it's very, very thin sheets. The phyllo, since it is frozen when you purchase it, is best to thaw overnight in the refrigerator, and this way it's ready to work with in the morning. I like to layer 3 sheets of phyllo and then put my filling on the inside. So I'm going to show you how I do lots of triangles at one time. And since it is thin, it does tear easily, but you can just put them back together. And then I like to use, instead of butter, I like to use a vegetable spray oil on the inside between the sheets. And you need to do this so the sheets have the flakiness that is traditional with the phyllo dough. And again, I'm going to layer 3 sheets and then put my filling. And then I use a pizza cutter. I'm going to cut them the long ways today. And then I place about 1/4 of a cup of filling up in the corner. And then you just fold it into a triangle, going back and forth. And then after you have your triangles formed, I like to place them on a parchment baking sheet that I've already brushed a little bit of butter on so they won't stick. And then I like to go ahead and brush these right away with butter. As you can see, the phyllo is starting to dry out. So I have a little bit of melted butter here. I'll go ahead and brush. And this helps with the browning of the pastry as it bakes. So our ovens have preheated at 350 degrees, and we're going to go ahead and put our triangles in. And we'll let them bake for 35 to 45 minutes until they're golden brown. The timer just went off, and the phyllo triangles have been in there for about 45 minutes, so we're going to go ahead and check them. Oh, they're really pretty golden brown. They look like they're ready to go, but we want to make sure they are, so we're going to take the internal temperature of them. They need to be back up to 165 degrees. With any ground meat product, you want to make sure, even though the meat has been cooked once, that when you reheat it, it does come back to 165 degrees. Yep, and they're there. So let's go ahead and plate them up. Okay, they're right out of the oven, and we're going to go ahead and serve one. And to serve one for a luncheon, we'd put a little bit of greens on the plate. One of our triangles. A little bit of salsa. The salsa and the guacamole complement the spicy sausage very nicely. A little bit of guacamole. Okay, here we have our phyllo triangles. Today we filled them with smart chicken, sweet Italian sausage, and we've garnished it with some salsa and some guacamole. Bon appetit.